Thank you, thank you, Mr. Topsy, Mr. Babajide. Appearance, good to see you online today. Ayo, Omi iPhone, Mr. Chooks, thank you so much. I'm happy to see people from the US. Blue Jack, welcome. Yeah, so let's get into the groove today. My name is Akim Adebisi, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Ajopro. We all know what Ajopro is. Ajopro is a platform that helps us to reduce the cost of borrowing. How do we do that? We do that by giving you a platform where you decide how much you pay in cost. We fought with the idea of interest over time and over time, but it's easier for people to understand it when you say interest and when you say cost. But the whole idea of Ajopro is to help you reduce the cost of borrowing. And the way we do that is we give you a platform where you decide how much you pay, whether in cost or interest. If you are paying zero, then you're paying zero cost. That means you are having a halal. I mean, that's not halal something for you because you are not actually paying any dime in interest. And if you are paying 2% or 3% or 4% or the marginal of 10%, that's your decision. It's your behavior that determines what you pay on interest in Ajopro. And why do we do that? Let's get into the group this morning. Okay. So usually every month, I talk about the problem that we are trying to solve, talk about the solution we are providing, talk about the business model so that you can get understanding of how our business model helps you to achieve your goal, right? And I have evidence to show you. One of the big evidence we have this time around is we just came back from collision, and I'm very sure many of us got the email from our collision center. We were talking to about 35,000 people about Ajopro from all over the world, from 140 countries, right? This tells us that Ajopro is not only for Black people. That's what I see in collision. That's what I came back from collision. I see everybody is about Ajopro. I see how interested the Chinese community are, how interested the white community are. So I'm saying like, sometimes when you create something, you think you create it for a particular community, but at the end of the day, everybody needs that thing. So I left collision this year with an impression. As a software developer, anytime we create a software, there's what we call accessibility. We create that software with accessibility in mind. What is accessibility? You are creating it so that people who have accessible challenge can use that thing. But at the end of the day, most of the features that we create for accessibility reasons are the features that becomes what everybody use. You see, for example, captioning that you see, captioning is created for accessibility reason. But at the end of the day, everybody, whether you have physical challenge or not, you want to use the captioning. Look at this door that we have that you press one button and door will open. That thing was not created for me and you. It was created for people who have accessibility challenge. But everybody, when we go to grocery store today, we'll hit that button and the door opens. You see? So one thing that I left collision with this year is most of the software that we have created in Ajopro, product and services in Ajopro that we think will serve the Black community can actually have the whole community at large. And so today I'll be talking to you about the problem that we initially wanted to solve and how we wanted to solve it. This is a problem that we talk about every time, right? We talked about money circulate once within the African American community, in contrast to how money circulate in the Latino community, the Asian community, and the white community. And we say, why? Why is it that money circulates 9 times in Asian community? Why is it that money circulates 6 times in the Latino community? But that same money comes to Black community, it only circulates 1 time. Why? The simple reason is in our community, most of us don't have the business that we can spend our money on. If I get my money right now and I want to buy food, the first thing I want to eat is what? Maybe Chinese. So I take that money and it goes to Chinese community. If I want to buy a house, how many Black people are giving mortgage? I have to take my money to the white community. Think about it very well. Anything, hardly would you find somebody in your community who provide that services. The majority of people that provide that service will be in other community. You know, you want to eat, most of what goes to a Chinese restaurant, right? You want to buy a house, you buy from maybe a bank that is run by somebody that doesn't look like you, right? Even schools. How many black schools do we have in Manitoba? If your student is going to a private school, right? So most of the businesses that you want to interact with as an individual, they are businesses that are run by people in other community. And so most of our money, as soon as we get that money, goes to another community. So what we are trying to do in Ajopro is to solve that problem. And to solve that problem, we need to get our community creating businesses. But our community cannot create business if they cannot control how much they pay in interest. Yeah. If you cannot control how much you pay in interest, I don't see how you can have enough money to create business. So what we have decided in Ajopro is we are going to give you a platform where you have ability to decide based on your behavior what you pay in the cost of borrowing that money. Now, if you can reduce, for example, I give example in collision, a very simple example. I said, if you are buying a house in Manitoba for $500,000 and you are paying that house for 25 years, you will pay an average of $351,000 in interest. Now, if you are paying $351,000 in interest, what if we can help you reduce that interest to $100,000? That means we have saved you $250,000. Now, what can you do with $250,000 if you have access to it? Sure, you can put that in your pension plan. You can put that in your retirement savings. I mean, you can do so many businesses. So the platform of Ajopro, or what we are trying to do, is to create a platform that can help you reduce the cost of money that goes as interest expense for you. So we've said it several times that the higher the circulation of dollar in a community, the greater the economic opportunity in that community. If you make $100,000 per annum, the total amount you can make in your work career in Canada is 2.5 million. If you work for 20 to 25 years, which is actually the time that you have. Because most of us come here in our late 30s or early 40s. So if you arrive Canada in your 40 and you are stable by 45, you only can work for 20 years before you retire. If you start working in Canada at 40, you only have 25 years to work, right? And if you make $100,000 every year, that means you can make a total of 2.5 million. Now, out of that 2.5 million, taxes take about 750,000 from you. Your mortgage interest 400,000, other interest 200,000, insurance 100,000, mortgage payments income, utility income, grocery, and things like that. So at the end of the day, you find yourself retiring poor in Canada. And this is not something that we are making up. You can read this from Start Canada themselves. They said average of 26% of people who start in Canada well, after 25 years, they retire and they are poor. That is something that is prevalent in the community. It's not something that we are making up. It is something that we are seeing. Most people will have to go back to Nigeria or go back to anywhere they come from if they retire, because they cannot sustain the amount of money they will use to take care of themselves in a care home in Canada. An average amount you will spend in a care home in Canada will be like 5,000, 4,000 annually. I mean, every month. Do you even make that every month now? So how do you pay for your care when you are old? That's what we are talking about. So you can't change taxes, because tax is tax. You have to pay it. But you can reduce the amount of money you pay in interest, in mortgage interest, in other interest, in insurance, in mortgage. You can reduce those amounts and use that money, convert it to what can make you stable when you retire. And I always say that this is not the first time that people are facing this kind of challenge. Today, most of us see it as if it's a Black community problem. It is not a Black community problem. People have faced the same problem as we are facing before. In 1844, a group of 28 artisans were working in a cotton mill in the north of England, in a city called Rockdale. They were poor, and they don't have any economic class. you know. But what did they do to help themselves? They created the first cooperative in the world. They call it Rugged Equitable Pioneer Society. They came together as a group and bought the sugar they want to sell. They bought sugar together and sell it to themselves. They bought oatmeal together and sell it to themselves. You know, they decided that by pulling their resources together and working together, they could access basic goods at a lower price. So they created this company called Rugged Equitable Society. They sell sugar to themselves only at a cheaper price. And any small profit they make, they divide the profit. Initially, they have 4 items like flour, oatmeal, sugar, and butter. But then they expanded to grocery chains, you know, car business, petrol stations, and everything. Today, all over the world, you can see cooperative everywhere. There's Jardine in Canada, Co-op. Everywhere you go, you see Assiniboine. All these people they started from the idea of cooperative. In fact, in 2020, the world's largest financial cooperative was French Credit Agro Company. You know how much they posted? 2.71 trillion company, trillion US dollars. Tell me how many companies posted trillions of dollars, apart from Apple and Microsoft. You know? So it's not like the Black community of today, we are facing a different problem than other people have faced. It's just that we are having a challenge of finding a way to remove ourselves or to cooperate out of poverty. You know, that is what I see our challenge is. Ability to cooperate out of poverty. You know, so why am I saying that? Today you see cooperative own grocery shops, they own petrol stations, they own taxi cab, they own home developing companies, they own credit union, and even cooperative banks. So in Ajopro, we came up with a new idea. We said, instead of focusing, you know, on people investing money, let us focus on helping people to reduce the cost of borrowing. That way, they have enough money to do other things. And the idea is very simple. There are 2 ways you can make money. You can make, you can make money. You can make money through thrifting. That is, if you want to buy something of $100, buy $10. So you save yourself $90. Or you can create money by investment. In Ajopro, we felt that the best way to help the Black people reduce cost and the best way to help people make money for Black community to make money in a capitalist society is actually to reduce the cost of borrowing for them. So if you are supposed to borrow, if you borrow $500,000 for your mortgage and you are going to pay $400,000 in interest, you know, over 25 years, if we can help you reduce that interest to $200,000, it means you now have $200,000 in your hand to do any other thing that you like with, right? Because the thing is, we are already doing 2-3 jobs, so we can't do 10 jobs, right? So instead of focusing on increasing the number of hours that you work, we want you to focus on reducing the cost associated to the borrowing that you are borrowing. And that's why we created Ajopro. So how does it work? Presently, individuals in our immigrant community, you know, they work so many types of jobs, whether in US or in Canada or in London or anywhere in a Western country. They work so many jobs. Now, instead of focusing on how to reduce the cost of borrowing, if you buy a house, for example, because that's where most of our money go into, many of us pay $400,000 in interest for mortgage. For God's sake, if you can only pay 100, that means you have 300,000 in your hand. So it is because of this that we created this unique value proposition for Ajopro, a dynamic ecosystem redefining financial empowerment, one goal at a time. Our sole purpose is to help immigrants reduce the long-term costs associated with building wealth. How do we do that? People ask me. We do that by creating a community funding wallet for disciplined users to meet their unique financial needs. We created a community funding wallet for disciplined users to meet their unique financial needs. So you want to buy a car. That car is $10,000. Instead of you putting your hand in your pocket and dragging out your credit card and paying it at 21%. Plan for it. Let Ajopro tell you how to buy that car at 0 interest. Yes, you have vacation coming. That vacation does not happen today. It's going to happen in 6 months or 7 months from now. Instead of you taking your hand in your pocket, taking a credit card, paying for 21%, plan for it. Plan for it. Your children's birthday is coming in December. It's not today. Start planning for it. You want to renovate your house, your basement, to turn it into a business. Don't put your hand in your pocket or go and take a grocery 31% interest. Plan for it. All these things, all these expenses does not come immediately. They are things that you can actually work for and plan for. And by planning for them, you can reduce the cost of borrowing. So let me give you a good example. For practical purposes, let me explain how our advanced contribution plan algorithm works. This algorithm goes beyond encouraging responsible savings. It unlocks unique financial advantage, by establishing a tailored cost-benefit spectrum, which we call time value, based on your position. And I know this is a very big grammar, but I'll break it down for you. So let me break it down. In Ajopro, we don't have the concept of you are making $20 contribution or $50 contribution. We have what we call contribution. We call it contribution plan. So a particular plan in Ajopro can be 1,045. That's a plan. So if you are doing that plan, irrespective of how many people in that plan, whether you are 1 or 1 million people, you have to contribute that 1,045. Does that make sense now? So we don't have the concept of I want to do 200. No, you don't determine what you want to do on Ajopro. Ajopro determine what you want to do based on your income and your expenses. The problem with the idea of saying I can contribute 300, I can contribute 1,000 is you don't even know your financial capability. Many of us think we can do 1,000 until you start. You realize you have mortgage to pay, you have this to pay, you have that to pay. But Ajopro will take your income, we take your expenses, we do calculation, we set up what it thinks you can pay that you will not default. Does that make sense to you? So let's go back to this plan of 1045. You start 1045 in Ajopro, and let's assume we have 10 circles that you want to do. What happens is if you decide to take number 1, you are only going to take 1,000. That means you are losing $45. But if you decide to take number 10, you will take $10,090. That means you're also making $45. But in this case, I'm showing that you are making $9. Why? Because there are other expenses associated to it. But the idea is very simple. If you take number 4, you are taking $1,030. So you are losing $27. If you take number 8, if you take number 8, how much? You are taking $10,070. So you are losing $3. So you can see that the cost of Ajopro is on a spectrum. It depends on the position where you take it. So you can decide for yourself whether you want to pay $0 in interest or you want to pay $45 in interest. So if I decide that I'm taking number 9, I'm actually paying 0. Not only that I'm paying 0 in interest, I'm getting $3 more than I contributed. If I'm taking number 10, not that I'm getting 0 in interest, that's halal. I'm actually taking what? I'm actually getting $9 more than I contributed. You see, at this level, if I decide to take number 5, right, then I'm losing $21. That is the cost. That's why we call it cost attribute and benefit attribute. So depending on where you take the money, there's a benefit to you. So assume you want to buy a car of 1,000, just assumption, and you don't want to pay interest. You want to pay 0. What do you need to do? You just decide that you are taking number 9 position. That's all. When you take number 9 position, you don't pay any interest. Imagine if you do that for 25 years, not paying that interest to anybody you are buying something from. You always plan what you want to buy. What do you think you will save yourself? You will save yourself a ton of money, which you can now use for other things. But one more thing. How do we know the position you are going to take in Ajopro? That's a big question. We know the position you are going to take in Ajopro based on what we call our rating algorithm. That rating algorithm is built on the psychology of your behavior in Ajopro. If you make a late payment, you get a lower rating. If you make your payment correctly every time, you get a higher rating. The higher your rating, the better your position. Does that make sense? So let's say you have 70 points in your rating. You will always have number one. You will always be given number one opportunity. But if you make only two payments late, the next time you do Ajopro, you go to number 8. You see? So we take this algorithm to compute how long it's going to stay to give you the money based on your behavior. Let me give you a sample use case before I conclude. A very fantastic use case is this one. Imagine a couple planning to close their first home mortgage in 10 months. I want to buy a home. I didn't know today that I want to buy a home. If I want to buy a home, I know right from the beginning of the year that I want to buy a home. And that is the right time to begin to plan for it. Not when you want to close the deal. You're not asking Ajopro for money. No. Plan for it right from the time you start thinking of buying that house, contact Ajopro. So now we have a couple that have 10 months to plan. Their financial institution will recommend that they avoid new credits account during that financing period. But they need new appliances, maybe what is worth $10,000, just for an example. What do you think they will do? Here is where Ajopro steps in. If the couple establishes appliance milestone on Ajopro and commences contribution plan towards that time, towards the 10 months. Now look at what happened in that 10 months. You see, the couple will have about 25 installments to pay. Okay, 2 installments every month. Okay, so assuming they set up 25 plan bi-weekly plan on Ajopro, and in 7 months, which will be July, they want to take the money because they want the money 3 months before they close the deal. Well, what do you think will happen? The total cost that if you cost this couple will be $258. You can call it interest if you like. We call it cost. But it will cost them $258 to get $10,941 in Ajopro. So they are taking position number 17. They are paying $448 every bi-weekly or every twice monthly, whatever. They are going to collect $10,941 and pay $200 more, in charges. Now think about it. If they have gone to the bank and take the 10,000, they will only take 10,000, not 10,941. That's what you should realize. Second, they will pay 21% in interest. Third, as soon as they collect that interest, their name goes to credit bureau in Canada. Every in Canada, somebody know you have collected 10,000 from a bank or financial institution. But on Ajopro, if you wait for that number 17, which is 7 months, you will be taking 10,941. You will only pay 258. What can you class that? So with our simple BNS solution, we help this customer to reduce the cost of borrowing or cost of building wealth. So instead of costing them 1,200, or if you compare it to bank, maybe 2,100 in a year is now costing them $258. So whatever they save, they can use that money for another thing. Let's assume this couple does not want to take the money in July, but they want to take that money actually in October, which is the right time they want to take possession of that house. What do you think will happen? If this couple wants the money in November, which would be the last position of biweekly in Ajopro, they will not only have no cost, which means zero interest, but also receive $161 in gain. What does that mean? Let's take a look again. So 25 position, they are waiting for that. They are still contributing 448. It does not change. Do you know how much this customer will get? Instead of getting 10,941, they will get 11,361, which is $161 more than the money they contribute to Ajopro. Now, think through this very carefully. I want you to imagine this. What do you think have happened here? this person know it's not only paying $0 in interest, but we are giving them the money, the lost value, because anytime you are saving, there's a loss in value, right? So yes, we are giving you a platform where you pay zero in interest at this level. But not only that we are giving zero in interest, we are also taking care of the time value of money for you. The value of that money since January to now would have lost $161, and we are giving you that $161. So we are not giving you interest. We are not paying you interest. We are only paying you the value that your money has lost. What you can buy with 10,000 in that time, you will need 1,161 to buy it now. So we are saying, how much has your money lost in value? It has lost 161. We give you that 161 so that we can keep the value of your money intact while you are paying $0 in interest. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but that is what we do. So with this solution, this customer no longer need to go into debt for the purchase of their new appliances. You see? So you're not going into debt to buy that car. You're not going into debt to buy that couch or that furniture, but you are deliberately and intentionally planning to buy it. Now, because you are deliberately and intentionally planning to buy this, what do you think happens? You save yourself a couple of interest here, couple of charges here, couple of this here. In 25 years, my brother, my sister, you can save yourself hundreds of thousands. And that will change your financial outlook completely. What of people who don't know about Ajopro and they are taking a loan? Maybe they've got a payday loan and collect a loan that they are charging them high. Some are just paying interest only. They can't even pay the loan back. How do we deal with those people? How do we help them? That's how we help them. So what if the couple had borrowed the money? They borrowed 10,000 from a payday loan or from a high cost lending before learning about Ajopro. Yes. And thank God, you know what payday loan means. Payday loan, even government of Canada say if you take a payday loan, $100, you pay $17 on it. That means you are paying 442% in interest. That's what it means. You would think it's easy, but at the end of the day, you are just working for these people. In the US, they say payday loan can have interest up to 600%. Those ones are capitalist nation, you know them. We still have some, well, our own capitalism has some mind, some soul. In the US, the capitalism has no soul. 600% in interest. This is from, it's a US news. You can see it here. So how do we help you in Ajopro? Let's say you have gone to all these payday loans, you have collected 10,000, now you are in a big problem because you are only paying interest. Come to Ajopro and ask for number one. Yes, what will happen? We'll give you number one if you have your rating. You would pay 448, no changes. We'll give you 10,000 and you pay 1,200 in cost. Now, here is the powerful thing. That will be about 12% if you calculate it properly. Far less than what you ever pay in your credit card. Or you will pay to credit, or you pay to the loan on this. And what do? We discipline you to pay this money. We give you the discipline that you need to pay this money back in 12 months. Unlike the credit card that you don't have the discipline to pay, just you borrow 10,000, they have to pay $20 and you are paying it and you are happy. You are just selling your future. That is the fact. They give you 10,000, they say you pay $20 and you are paying it. You should not be paying it. You should pay their money back. Because what essentially is happening is they are trading your future for that money they are giving you. So what Ajopro does is to give you a platform. Yes, you take the money, you pay that credit off. So you pay that 10,000 off. What happens when you pay that $10,000 that you borrow from them? Do you know the first thing that happens? Your credit rating jumps up automatically. Your credibility goes up. The system see you now as a responsible somebody. So when you go out to get other loan, you will get it. Okay? So with this solution, our customer can reduce the cost of borrowing significantly. And let me show you how this works. in the life of someone in Ajopro. Let's take somebody that we call a resilient dreamer. She's 2 years old from Dominican Republic of Congo or Democratic Republic of Congo. She's a low-income person. She wants to fund her handmade craft business in order to build a stable financial future. She has a limited financial resources. She's navigating a new culture in Canada or US. She wants to establish good credit history. Now, instead of just taking credit card or borrowing, she comes to Ajopro. She has a plan of 1045 every year. 1045, because she's just doing a small business. She did that for 6 years. Let's look at her financial outlook. Let's look at this one's financial outlook in Ajopro. The first year she's doing this 1045 plan, she took the last position, which is position number 10. We gave her $9. Second year, she did the same thing. She took the last position, we gave her $9. Third year, she did the same thing, we gave her $9. In the fourth year, she needs money to run her business. So she said, oh, give me number one. We gave her number one. We charge her $45. In the fifth year, she took the last position. Last year, she took the last position. We gave her $9, $9. If you add all the $9, they will give you $45. Minus $45, that is zero. So what has happened to Rita? In 5 years, she got $6,270 to fund her business. Effectively, how much is her net interest in Ajopro? Zero. If this makes sense to me, I want to begin to see what we are talking about. So in 6 years, we have net this woman's interest to zero. Zero. Imagine if she has gone to the bank and used her credit card for 6 years and has spent $6,270 on her credit card. How much do you think she'll pay in interest? Imagine she has collected this money from a payday loan. What do you think would have happened? But effectively, what we have helped Rita to do is to spend business for 6 years. He's paying zero in interest. Some people might say, oh, but I don't need 1,000. I need a lot of money. Let me show you another adventurer explorer. 52-year-old lady from China, medium income. Her name is Chen. Her primary goal is to save for unforgettable vacation. I love vacation like that. Now, what is she trying to do? She's saving a plan called 3808, 3804 plan. It's a 12-month plan, and that plan is for 3 years. No, she did it for 3 years, rather, not that plan is for 3 years, but she did it for 3 years. The first year she did that plan, she was paying $317 every, twice monthly, and she took position number 10 out of number 12. She paid us $4. It cost her $4. Second year, she did the same plan. She did that plan, but she took number 6 out of number 12. She paid us $99. Third year, she took the same amount of money, but she took the last position this time around. We gave her $35. Subtract 995 this from this, which means the net payment she paid us is what? $68, if you want to call it interest. And for interest sake, I call it that. Look, she pays $68. What does that mean for Chen? It means in 3 years, she was able to get $11,335 from Ajopro for her vacation plans with effective charge of what? $65.
Mr. Akim?
Some people are used to
Mr. Akim, you got a question. Are you okay to have an interruption for the question?
I think I should just finish it because I'm not.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. Go ahead. I'll be answering question on the chat. I just want to
$5. What does that translate to? It translates to 0.5% for 3 years. Long run, what have we helped her to do? We have helped her to reduce the cost of borrowing. Help her to reduce how much she pays in cost. And then the savings she has, she can use it for other things. Lastly, a single ambitious newcomer and single mom from Nigeria, Maria. She's doing 10,700 plan for 12 months. It's a bi-weekly plan, and she did it for 6 years. The first year, she was paying 446. She took the last position. She got 161 from us. Second year, she took number 5. She paid us 880. Third year, she took number 17. She paid us 243. Fourth year, she took number 1. She paid us 1,200. Fifth year and sixth year, she took the last position and got 161. Add all the 161, everything here together, she has paid us 1840. But she has gotten $63,632.90 out of Ajopro in 6 years to fund her education. Effectively, she paid us 1840. If you look at that, that's about 2.89%. For God's sake, imagine that Maria has gone to payday loan or anywhere and collected 63,000 in 6 years. How much do you think she would have paid in interest? Imagine that Maria is not using this money for school. Imagine she's using this money every year to put into her mortgage. So every year she put 10,700 into her mortgage for 6 years. She would have reduced her principal by 63,000. If you reduce the principal of your mortgage by 63,000 in 5 or 6 years, you would have saved yourself 4 years of payment. You would have saved yourself more than $40,000 in interest. Imagine Maria has used this to purchase her cars or pay her student's fee or go on vacation or do anything that she wants to do. That is the power of Ajopro. That is what Ajopro is trying to do. Finally, we have some features that I want to show you. Products that we have. We have the tribe, which is what I've been explaining since morning. We have the EPTO, which is if you want to collect early. We have back-to-back, which is plans that people use to buy cars. They use that plan to pay their mortgage. I use that plan for paying mortgage. Other people use it. I think Mr. We talk about how you use this plan, and there are so many people on Ajopro who have used this plan to achieve their goals, right? We have quick cash. We have other features like switching. Switching means, anything can happen. Anything can happen. You are working today, getting 1,000, you can save 1,000, then you lose your job. In Ajopro, you can immediately switch down to zero, to a lower payment plan, right? That's switching. Or you are working, you just get work in United Nations, and you want to increase your payment. In Ajopro, we have give you that flexibility to do that as well. We have swapping. Swapping means, okay, you don't have the rating that required to get that amount, but you want to get position 5, but you are in position 10. You can swap or trade with somebody else who has that position. You pay that person, but you get that position. Yeah, there are some market opportunities we have. People who are using our software for the last 4 or 5 years believe that 98% of our customers believe we have a great product. For example, take a look at our Google Play. We have more than 1,000 downloads across Google Play, as you can see. And out of 1,000 downloads, with hundreds of reviews, we still have. What does that tell you? I mean, I write software for one of the biggest companies in the world. You don't write software for 5 years and get 4.9 rating. It doesn't come that way. People must see value in what you are doing to give you 4.9 rating for 5 years. And the same thing, if you also go to, like, maybe, for example, you go to our Android, several hundreds of downloads, you see the same thing, 4.8 out of 5. Read what people are saying about us there. Ajopro is awesome. I heard about it when it was first launched, but I kind of have no interest until 2 years ago. A friend testified that Ajopro helped him pay off his car loan and down payment for his mortgage. Last year, I recommend Ajopro to 2 of my friends. It has been wonderful testimony with amazing client service support. These people are not fools, and they are not paid to go and put this thing here. This man said, I have used Ajopro for 3 years now, and I am yet to be disappointed. It meets my need and would like to recommend it to anyone who is in need of financial assistance. You see, we have some testimony from CBC News. You can read our news with CBC News. You can see so many things that even the one that interviewed us talked about. You can see these are news that you can read about us. Also other news in Free Press, and there are also Collision. Most of you have seen the video from Collision, the pitch that we made. The market, we have 6 million immigrants in this country. If we can help just 2 million of them to achieve their goal, it will be what we are looking for, right? Look at don't know if I'm back now. Sorry. Can you see my?
Yeah, back. We can hear you now.
Thank you so much. So these are factors you can see. Currently, we only own 0.022% of the market. If the Black community can come together and use our product, you will see that we are helping the community grow. At the same time, we are helping you to reduce the cost of borrowing, and we are all achieving our goals that we want to achieve. So finally, maybe this is one thing that can help you to just learn some things that we did. I don't know whether I'm sharing with sound, but I'm going to share with sound so that everybody can hear, share with sound, so that everybody can hear what this man has to say.
My name is Timotokwe Otugushen, one of the co-founders of Ajopro. The first version of Ajopro was utilized by the users only during critical situations. However, with the release of Ajopro 2.0, we aim to assist our users in planning and introducing milestones. We strongly believe that intentional planning and progress tracking are essential for building wealth, and this serves as the foundation for the new Ajopro concept. To get started, follow these steps. Download the Ajopro app from either the App Store or Google Play. Register and join our community. If you are referred by a friend or loved one, use the referral code you receive by SMS. Create your own milestones that you wish to achieve. Transform your milestones into specific targets. Keep track of your progress. Achieve your milestones in record time. Remember, you are not alone on this journey. You are part of a supportive community of like-minded individuals. You are part of a club.
Yeah, so thank you so much. And I think with that, getting to the last point of my presentation, right? There are so many zones across Manitoba, New Brunswick, Toronto, several places in Canada that use Ajopro. And I know most of these people are online. So reach out to them, let them give you the zone that you have. While I take questions, I want to quickly show you, this is our last, just to quickly show you this presentation that we had in Toronto. And I think it's something that many people benefit from.
Hi everyone, my name is Akim, and I'm the president and co-founder of Ajopro. Have you ever wondered why so many immigrants who retire in Canada ended up retiring broke? As an immigrant, you have about 20 to 25 years to work in Canada, because most of us come here at the age of early 30s or the beginning of 40s. So you have about 25 years to work. And within that 25 years, technically, even if you make $100,000 every year, you can only accumulate about $2,500,000, out of which immediately tax takes about $850,000. And then another $351,000 that you pay in interest payment. That's if you are coming from a city like mine in Winnipeg. If you buy a house of $500,000, I mean at 4.22, you can actually pay about $358,000 in interest over 25 years. So what we want to do in Ajopro is to help you reduce the costs of borrowing. We want to make sure that that $350,000 you pay, we're going to reduce it to something like 100. If we can do that for you, you can use the rest of the money for so many things, into your business, your RRSP, your pension plan, and other stuff that you want to do. So to do that, we do that through Ajopro. So what Ajopro does for you is to give you a platform where you can decide how much you pay, whether you want to pay marginal interest or you want to pay zero in interest. So if you want to pay zero in interest, you decide that through the platform that Ajopro gives to you, what we have called a milestone approach product. So thank you so much. If you want to know more about Ajopro, please contact with me or my team at the end of this show. Thank you.
Exactly, too.
Hey, I'm Joey, and I'm
You listen to this video until now, and you probably couldn't tell I'm not a real human voice.
Thank you very much, Mr. Akim, and thanks for the presentation. At this time, we're going to take some quick questions. I think one Ayo has raised, I don't know, his or her hand in the course of the presentation. Please unmute yourself and ask your question. Ayo.
Hi, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. So my question is that why collecting money from Ajo loan, like loans? Is there features that could allow you to pay off your debt early? Like let's say you make plans to pay off your loan in 12 months, but then within 6 months, let's say you take the fourth position, then within 6 months you are able to pay your loan off. Is there a benefit that comes with that?
So thank you. Good question. And I think because you have created a milestone that has already given you the sequences of your payment, you may be unable to just accelerate those payments because that's what the milestone that you've created. What you could do that we have is what we call the wallet system. You can actually put all the money, since you have the money, put it in your wallet. And instead of having to pay money on a monthly basis, Ajopro will go into your wallet and pick the money that is in the wallet to offset your milestones. But you can't just necessarily, after taking our money, say, I want to pay it now, and then the system is adjusted for you. So what you should do is put the money in the wallet, because you can actually top it off, and then we'll be taking the money on a monthly basis if something changed for you for better, right? That's possibly what you mean, and then you want to accelerate your payment, and then it can be paid like that. So you don't have to be worried about it eventually, because you have the money in your wallet, and from your wallet, we're going to take it off and we're going to use it to pay your milestone. Does that clarify your question?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Do we have any other question in the platform today? We had 42 participants today, and I want to let each and everyone know that the availability zones that I've invited you, or if you would like to sign up based on the information that has been displayed on the screen, please do well to reach out to them for their zone codes so as to be able to sign up. I also, if anyone needs to talk further to us regarding availability zone, I will put my phone number here. You can reach out to me or to Mr. Akim if you have any more questions regarding availability zones and all the things that we do here. But if anyone has any question or any thought or any comment on all the things that you've had now, don't hesitate to speak it now, and then we will be more than happy to help you with clarifications. As I was talking regarding the availability zone, we have added 2 more availability zones, one in the Ontario area, and also we are looking at another one in New Brunswick. So we are expanding across Canada rapidly. We are also in discussions in Vancouver at the moment for availability zones. So this means that we are expanding across the country. And so if you have anybody in those places also, you can please let me know, and we can also talk to them about the possibility of having availability zone, since this platform is based on referral basis through availability zone system. Okay, so if we do not have any question, again, I think in the next 2 minutes, we will be shutting down the conference for today. But I want to say a big thank you to each and everyone in attendance, appreciating you for the time that you have spent with us today, and also encouraging you not just to listen to all of these, but to ensure that you become part of the clan. There are a lot of advantages in becoming and signing up for Ajopro. You know, like you have heard today, wealth building is a challenge in the African American, Canadian Black community, immigrant community, and all those. So this is exactly what Ajopro has addressed, and in the course of few years that we have been in operation, we have had a lot of very good feedbacks and ratings. So please encourage each other, let a lot more people know about what we're doing, and we will, I believe everybody will be rewarded with good savings on the process of wealth building. Thank you so very much for the day. And for those that have chatted with privately with my number, we have some other questions and everything like that, I will be expecting your calls, and we'll be able to take the discussion further. If we don't have any other question, I would like to request Mr. Akim. I think we should, you can have the last word, and we are gonna be shutting down.
We still have any question that
we have answered the question and we are good. I just want you to have the last word before we shut down today.
The last word apparently is simple for me always. Let us believe in our community and in what we can do. You know, when I was in coalition, I did mention halal this, and I thought people will like say, oh, why are you talking about that? But I realized that even the white people are struggling with paying a lot of interest. Even the white people are struggling with paying a lot of interest. So let us not throw our own thing away. This is a technology that we have created that can help a lot of people. And you have a way to decide for yourself. If you think you need the money early, get it. Pay some little. If you think you don't need the money, save for zero interest. Wait for some time. And you will see that in the long run, it will save you a lot of money in interest. The community can only benefit and grow if we begin to reduce the amount of money we pay to other people. And that money that we save can be used for something else. That's my call. That's what I think we should do. That's what I think we should go. I believe that, you know, many of us in this community feel the same as I feel, that we pay so much in interest and we can lower that cost of interest by using Ajopro to achieve it. Thank you so much. If we have anybody who wants to invite us to their community, I am open to talking in several communities. I am open to talking in churches. I am open to talk in mosques. I am open to talk in several places to help people to grow and to understand that if we don't do the right thing, we might end up, you know, losing all the money that we're supposed to use for retirement just because we are paying interest. Thank you very much. May God bless you.
Thank you. And this meeting will be adjourned to our July meeting. And July meeting will be, it will be on Saturday, 27th of July. You will be receiving invitation to that as well. Thank you. Have a very, very beautiful Canada long weekend. God bless you all. Bye-bye now.